Hey guys, so I get quite a lot of questions from you, which I love, about lots of different things about collecting K-pop. And I know that when you first get into K-pop, it can be really confusing. I don't know why I said can, it is confusing. I remember when I first got into K-pop, and it's the first time I'd kind of realised how much incredible music is out there, and there's so many amazing groups, and who do you start with, and it can be quite overwhelming. So I have done one of these before. It's like a guide. It's kind of like my top 10 tips that I've learned from collecting K-pop. I have made mistakes along the way. I've bought things that perhaps maybe I shouldn't have, and I've been a bit frivolous, and I've been a bit impatient. So I'm hoping that this video will help. Fingers crossed, because I do. How cute is this book, by the way? So cute. Oh my god. So I've written like my top 10 things in my book. So I kind of want to talk about all of them. So the first rule. This is my golden rule, especially now, especially in like the last year. This is one that I have learned: is be patient. The reason why I say that is because Rome wasn't built in a day. Don't think, oh my god, I've got so much to go, I need to get them all straight away, because that's ridiculous. Pace yourselves. If any of you guys have seen Finding Nemo, there's a character in there called Dory, and she has a line in it, and it says, "Just keep swimming." And that's kind of like my personal kind of mantra, I suppose. Just keep swimming. You'll get there. We all start off small. I'm going to show you a picture of this. Oh, there's so much glare. I didn't realise there was so much glare. I'll do it this way. I don't know if you can see. Sorry, there's a lot of glare. This is a K-pop shelf, and it has 1, 2, 3, 5 K-pop albums on. This is my first K-pop shelf. When I started collecting back in 2013, I had 5 things as my first. This is my very first picture I ever took of my K-pop collection. I now have over 400. So, this is what I'm saying. It's all about where you start. Okay, you all may start with a small amount, but that amount will grow and grow in time. So, be patient and try and keep within budget. It's something I'm still trying to do. Make a list. So it's really, really important that you make a list of all the K-pop that you want, and that way, as you progress, you can tick them off. And the more you tick off, the better it feels. It feels really good when you finish a collection. My cat's just like wandering around. Yeah, it's really, really good and really useful to make a list, especially if you've got a specific artist that you want to collect. Hi. I know. What are you doing? I know. So make a list of like the entire discography. You can go on Wikipedia. It's the best place you can go to make a list. So if you're a specific fan, if you belong to a specific fandom, make a list of all their artists, all their releases, and go from there. So lists are really, really important, especially if you have multiple groups that you want to buy for. So even now, I've got little holes, little pockets of K-pop that I feel I'm missing. So I've made a list of all the stuff. I think I showed it to you a few weeks ago. I have actually continued to add to that list, so the page is looking pretty full now. But yeah, this is probably the best piece of advice I can do. Bias first. Okay, so if EXO got you into K-pop, if Super Junior got you into K-pop, if Girls' Generation got you into K-pop, Apollo. Oh, yeah. Whoever got you into K-pop, whoever is the group that interests you the most, who you love the most, that is where you start. Okay, so the biggest rule I would say is whatever release they had recently, start with that and work your way backwards. So for example, BTS. If you are a BTS fan, first of all, congratulations, you have joined a great fandom. I am also ARMY. I'm VIP and ARMY, and a lot of other. I think I belong to about 20 different fandoms, but those are my 2 main ones. Definitely buy their most recent one, so In the Mood for Love or Best Moment in Life Part 2. Then buy Part 1, buy Danger. So work your way backwards with BTS. Last year they really found their sound. I've been with them since the beginning and I've really seen them grow. So knowing their albums, I definitely advise that you always buy the most recent release. So if there's a group out there that you love the most and they've just recently come back, start with that one, okay, and then work your way backwards. That's the most important thing, I would say. An artist grows as they go on, so their newer stuff usually is not as good as their older stuff. I mean, that's not always true, but I would say that's probably a good rule to follow there. If you're unsure, watch unboxings and ask questions. So please feel free to watch my unboxings and ask me as many questions as possible. However, there are a multitude of great YouTubers out there who do great unboxings. So if you just search on YouTube for a specific artist, that's probably the best way. Don't go looking for unboxings when you're not quite sure whose you want to look for. Because if you stumble across an unboxing for an album that you didn't think you wanted and then suddenly you decide you do want, you know that you're in trouble. So watch as many unboxings. There's lots of great YouTubers out there with great unboxings. And ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask questions. We are a community. Welcome to the K-pop community. We are awesome and we're all here to help each other. Collecting K-pop is amazing. It's so rewarding and it's a bit stressful, especially when you realise that you just got paid and you've got no money left. Case in point, me. But yeah, definitely ask questions. I'm always here and there are lots of other YouTubers. I'm sure you guys watch other YouTubers as well, and if you don't, then you should, because you shouldn't just be relying on me because I have no idea what I'm doing. Favourite sellers and reviews. So the most worrying thing is when you decide you want to buy K-pop, you're not quite sure where to go. There are a lot of sellers out there. I mostly use K-Town for You now. I find them a lot cheaper. Their website can be a bit confusing, but you have to kind of just get used to it. But they are really cheap and they ship pretty quickly. They take about two or 3 weeks. I remember when I first started with them, it only took like a week, so I was like, well, hey, and then they slowly deteriorated. But the prices are really good. You can get 2 new albums for about £25. I always say, with an average, if I buy 2 albums, I don't normally, if I buy off K-Town for You, I never buy just 1 album, I always buy 2. I always make sure that it's under 30, but usually you're talking about sort of between 20 and 25 on there, so they're really cheap. I would also recommend Yes Asia, because if you buy over a certain amount, it's free shipping. It takes a little bit longer, so or you just use them for albums that you want but you're not really in a massive rush to get. And don't forget about eBay and Amazon, great sellers that are on there as well. So definitely read reviews as well. So if you're not 100% certain, if you've seen a seller that you want but you're not sure, then by all means please ask me and I'll tell you whether or not I've used them and whether I recommend them. I'll try and see if I can put some links in the description for sellers that I use on eBay to help out. Then you have to decide whether you want an album for the music or for the packaging. Now, when I first got into K-pop, the packaging blew me away. I was just like, oh my god, so pretty, I must buy the pretty things. Don't let that change your mind about, but if you buy an album because you like the music and then you see another album and it's prettier, don't. Okay, it's always about the music. The music is the most important thing. It's why you've fallen in love with a specific artist. It's why you want to buy the album. Some albums are packaged better than others, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy it, if that makes sense. So definitely make sure that you buy it for the music and not for the packaging. It's easy for me to say, but if you're starting your Girls' Generation collection, for example, and you see The Boys is packaged in this really beautiful tin. It's one of the first K-pop albums that I ever bought, and oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. But there are other albums perhaps that are out there that are better than that one, so give them a listen. You can find them on YouTube and all sorts of different places, but definitely give them a go. Buying K-pop albums just for the packaging, it's not really a good thing. You're buying K-pop for the music. Well, you should be buying it for the music, but yeah, and to support the artist. Shipping costs. So just be wary about the shipping costs. So if you go onto K-Town for You, when you get to like on the final page, there are options for your shipping, so you can check and see how much shipping is. There's no point. I mean, some of these places they charge more shipping than for the actual CDs. Don't do that. Try not to do that. I know you can be desperate. It's really easy to want to put like EMS shipping on things so you can get it in a few days, but you could be spending that money on more K-pop. So it could be slowing you down. So I can't remember the name of the shipping now, but I'll try and look it up and put it in the description. But it's cost me about £7 or something like that for shipping. So yeah, definitely that. And also look for places maybe that have free shipping, like Yes Asia. There's some great eBay sellers out there that offer free shipping as well. So definitely look around and kind of cost out how much your shipping is. If your shipping's costing more than the actual CDs, don't. Okay. Any more advice that you need about shipping, then please message me or leave a message down below. How many versions? I blame SM for this question. Okay. Earlier last year, EXO came back with Exodus, and loads of people pre-ordered the album. And then SM were like, oh, by the way, there's like a 10-member version for the Korean and 10-member version for the Chinese. So there's like 20 versions. Lots of people went into panic mode because they wanted to order their bias and all that kind of stuff. There's always like, version A and version B and version C, different types of original versions and like secret versions and freedom versions and stuff like that. This is where the patient thing comes into it, so don't be in a rush. If you're not 100% sure, if you can only buy one version, just wait and see if there's an unboxing for it. It may be a bit of a delay in you buying the album, but then at least you will get the version that you want. Don't be fooled or tricked by these big companies into buying multiple versions of the same album, like many of us have done in the past. SM. So yeah, just be very picky. You can always buy other versions at a later date, although just be careful because sometimes they do go out of stock really quickly. And the most important thing to remember is it's all about supporting your artist, which is why I say that if your favourite artist is out now, if they're due for a release, so for example I think Teen Top, Winner, 4 Minute, they're all coming back this month. If you've not bought a K-pop album and you're not quite sure where to start, but they're like one of your bias groups, start with that first. So important that you support your artist. That's why you want to buy their album. So make sure that you buy them off somewhere like K-Town For You or Yes Asia or K-Pop Mart, where the sales actually count towards the charts. It's really, really important. That's why I say start from the most recent and work your way back. It's all about supporting your artist. And also I would say, depending on whether or not you want to go down the route of the photo card, so a lot of people buy multiple versions for photo card purposes. Be careful going that route because obviously that makes it more expensive, but it is fun to collect photo cards. But remember, if you are, make sure that you buy them from places that go towards the Gaon chart or anything like that. And then I think this is my last rule. Ooh, yay! Secondhand and used. So don't be afraid of buying secondhand or used CDs from Amazon or eBay. I started buying them last year and I didn't look back. I've got so many albums that I never thought that I would own. When you're buying a specific members collection, and there's ones that are more difficult. So for example, a prime example would be Infinite. You start in your Infinite collection, start with Reality and then work your way back. There are some tricky ones, so Over the Top is probably going to be the most tricky. Occasionally they appear on Amazon for a good price and on eBay. Don't be in a massive rush because they're always going to appear. They're always going to come up for a good price. If you see it for a good price, so the other week they were on Amazon for about £20 and I was so close to buying them but I didn't have the money. I really regret it now. I should have gotten some money from my husband. Oh well, never mind. Then by all means do so, but just concentrate on all the stuff that you can get for a good price. That's the most important thing. And don't be scared of secondhand and used. There's some really good sellers out there. Again, read the reviews and stuff like that. If you've seen something on Amazon and you're not 100% sure, then where's that on? Ask questions. We K-pop fans and collectors are always here to help. So there are a number of other YouTubers that will help you. So that's kind of like my 10 most important things. Patience is definitely a virtue. It's not a race. Collect at your own speed. Don't get pushed into thinking that you have to get more than one version. If your bias group is someone who made their debut like recently, so if it's Monster X or 17 or GFriend or whoever, then you're in a really good position because you can just buy the releases from like last year. But if you've decided that Big Bang is your bias, then congratulations, because you've picked a winner. They're a great band. But if it's groups like Big Bang or Girls' Generation, Super Junior, Infinite, Dongbang Shinki, TVXQ, whoever you want to say, then you have definitely chosen well, but don't be befuddled by all the different versions. If you go to order a version of Super Junior's Bonamana and it says like version A or version B or version C, and you're not quite sure what you're ordering, go on to YouTube and check out the unboxings, okay? There are millions of them and they're there to help you, okay? I think that's pretty much it. If you want me to answer any more questions, then please just drop one in the comments below. I really hope I haven't like forgotten anything. I think I've kind of given you all the advice I can give you. A few years ago I was in that position where I didn't know what I was doing. I ordered a CD off Yes Asia. One CD, it was BAP's One Shot, and that kind of made me buy more, so I then ended up buying like 4 or 5 albums from Yes Asia because it was free shipping. I had to wait about 5 weeks for the package. Well, that's when it started off, and then I got into Kpop Mart, Kpop Town. So all these places, CD Japan, HMV Japan, they're good websites as well. Lots of great sellers. We all buy from different sellers, so yeah, just find the sellers that you can trust. If you want any more advice, then please obviously leave it in the description, and I hope this helps because it's really confusing when you first start out, so fingers crossed that I've helped. Until next time, guys, ciao.